just want to ask, you weren't here in Black Soda with PA speakers, right?
No,
No.
we're not.
Okay, thanks.
This local channel is sponsored by Michaud Insurance. Since 1979, Michaud Insurance has been providing comprehensive insurance options to our friends and neighbors. Find out how we work for you at 978-685-2549 or at michaudinsurance.com.
Good evening, Methuen. It is 7 o'clock on the dot, and that means that polls are officially closed, and you are joining us for the MCS Election Results 2025. I'm your host, Michelle Houle, and I'm joined by Karen Hayden today. Karen, thanks for coming on and keeping me company.
Oh, I love doing this. It's fun.
Real quick, we wanted to go over, first of all, what we're going to be doing tonight, and that is hopefully bringing you the numbers in real time, or as close to it as possible. For those of you who've never been, they post the numbers at each of the polling places, and we have 4 great volunteers who have offered to go out, get the numbers, call them into us, and hopefully throughout the night we'll be able to tell you who's winning each race. Just one thing to keep in mind, these are all considered uncertified, and any one of these candidates actually does have the right to still contest it up until, I believe it's tomorrow afternoon, saying that they don't agree with the numbers. I don't think it happens too often, though.
Only if a race is really close.
Yeah,
and they'll do a recount anyways if the race is really close. So, yeah.
The numbers that we're seeing on these slips, which look, we were joking earlier, it looks like the old-fashioned register tape.
Yep.
The numbers that are there are the numbers of all the people as you put those numbers into your papers into the ballot. Those are the numbers that the machine is physically counting.
That's right.
If there's something wrong with your ballot, maybe there's a rip or a tear, or you went a little bit outside of the lines, not that I've ever colored outside the lines in my whole life, but if you did, your ballot might be pushed a little bit aside and it will be put into a special bin, which is really kind of cool that the machine can do that. It puts it into a special bin where it will be opened and hand counted. They also hand count all of the ballots that were early voting,
Yep.
which was over at City Hall this time,
Yep.
instead of the Quinn Building. So those will be counted, and anybody who mailed in their votes will also be counted. And that's where the numbers you get tonight might have a discrepancy tomorrow or the next day when you see them.
Right, because they will be checking these tallies as well, and there may be, some ballots that they need to look at more closely because they can't tell if somebody made a stray mark on their ballot, and they need to look at it closely and make a judgment call sometimes as to what the voter intended. And if they can't, then they'll just have to leave that vote out.
For local elections, I feel like it's a lot more rare for people to ask for recounts, unless it's like within 50 votes, I think is the only time I've ever seen it. When the candidates were about 20 votes apart one time, which I can understand because 20 votes could just be, accidental.
Right.
Somebody adds wrong. Not that my math is ever wrong. Okay, it's horrible. Don't ask my accountant. I cannot add. It is true. That is why we have these volunteers. And we also have some professional staff, meaning they know what they're doing in the control booth tonight, setting up all of our numbers and helping us get everything in. So let's talk a little bit about who is on the ballot first, Karen. And we have a whole bunch of different races depending on where you live. So why don't you give us an idea of the first two races?
Sure. So the major races are considered to be, of course, the race for mayor, which had two candidates, the incumbent DJ Beauregard, who was filling out the remainder of Mayor Perry's term after Mayor Perry passed away. And his opponent is a political newcomer, Barbara Stabell. And, we had them here for a forum, and they had a lively debate. And I think that, we are well served by having two good candidates. Councilor at large, there are 6 people running for 3 seats. So of these 6, 3 will be elected. There's Ryan Robert DeZoglio, who is leaving the school committee because he termed out there, and he is now running for councilor at large. Francisco Cirillo, who was appointed to fill out DJ Beauregard's seat when he moved up to be mayor. James Sarcione, who is actually running for office for the second time. He actually ran for mayor last time, and he is running for councilor at large.
He ran for mayor during the special election.
During the special election, yes. Another political newcomer, John Richard Drew Jr., who has definitely been in a lot of places and is hoping to be a councilor this time around. Jana Zani-Pesh, who is an incumbent, serving one of, I think, her last time that she can run.
I believe so. For
city councilor at large. And finally, we have Wanda Carolina Santos, another political newcomer. So, it's definitely a great race because, there's 6 very different people who bring different perspectives to the table and different professional backgrounds. So it'll be interesting to see what the voters thought.
The councilor at large seat is one of the seats, in fact, the only seat that serves all districts besides the mayor. And so they really are making important decisions for everybody in the city. Whereas your district councilors may bring up ideas that are a little more applicable to their district, whether it's streets or garbage or plowing. So the councilor at large is the one who's covering all of that. And that's why you have 3 of them as opposed to 2.
Right.
I think it's kind of interesting to see that we have one incumbent, and then we have an incumbent who's an acting appointed person, already serving. And there's more newcomers to this particular race than usual.
Yeah.
Do you think people, when they throw their hat in the ring, if you were a candidate, let me put it this way, if you were a candidate and decided to
I thought you liked me.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's a thankless job, I think, to be a counselor.
Yeah. No, I thank them all because I don't want to do it.
Yep.
So if you were to decide that you were going to do that, though, what would make you decide between councilor at large versus district?
I think, personally, I think I would rather start as a district councilor, but that's just me. So some people feel that they can represent the entire city, and that's really important to them, I think, to represent the entire city instead of just being concerned about the district they live in. And so I think that makes it attractive to some people, is being able to represent everyone.
I think that Methuen, because of the way our districts are split, we have so many different aspects to it. You have the East District that has the loop in it, so you have...
And farms.
And farms, all
Yeah.
in the same place.
Yep.
The West District, you have Forest Lake, so you have more of a preservation feel. The Central District is really kind of a combination of business and...
Yeah, the downtown area.
Yeah, it's a combination of business and
Right at
residential.
Broadway.
So I think, like you said, it's kind of cool that the councilor at large gets to cover all of those things. So if your interests are a little bit more eclectic, shall we say, or widespread, maybe the councilor at large is a perfect job. As you mentioned, Jana Zani-Pesh, this is her last term able to run for this office. And that opens up, she could go to school committee, which, did she start on school committee? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember. Isn't that funny?
Wow. Jana, if you're watching, just, give us a little ring, and better yet, come down and tell us all the whole story. That's one thing we're kind of hoping for tonight, is that some of the candidates will be dropping by and just letting us know what it's like to either have been elected or to be standing out on the sidelines, holding those signs and watching us all drive by and seeing who's been casting their votes today.
You can go into the districts?
Sure, sounds good. Let's start with the Central because it's in the middle, so it makes sense. We have 4 people running for 2 seats, and we have Ella Page McLaren. She is a newcomer to this race.
And very young. She's
Very
like 20
young.
years old. Yeah.
And going to school to study this. We have Sharon Birchall. We have Luann Santos, who is moving over from school committee, or hoping to anyway.
Yep.
And we have Yanilda Santos. Now, I'm kind of curious to see how this turns out. Yanilda and I were actually talking about it when she came in to do her 5-minute speech. And she said that she was noticing the same thing. And I was kind of curious. If you only know to vote for Santos, you have 3 choices.
That's right.
So they all had to be really careful about where...
Making sure they
were willing-
identified themselves by their first names and not just their last name.
And their signs.
And their signs. Yeah.
So we are going to go to a little bit of a break real quick. Not very long at all, but we have a special guest in-house, and we definitely want to make sure that we get him on. And so we are going to go into that break if the control room is ready, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
I am so sorry I was late. I was at the retina specialist getting my first AMD treatment. I was worried that the injection would hurt, but it was much better than I expected.
I'm so glad you're getting your AMD treated. Did you go to the same retina specialist that I see for my diabetic retinopathy?
Yes, and I was already having blurred central vision. And the retina specialist told me that by treating it early, I had a better chance of saving and even improving my vision.
It's important that we see an expert for our retinal conditions. A retina specialist also treated my son when his retina detached several years ago. The surgery saved his sight. When your vision is at risk from retinal disease, disease, you need the expertise of a retina specialist. Retina specialists are highly trained physicians and surgeons who treat retinal conditions in adults and children, as well as severe eye trauma. If you experience blurred central vision, a curtain-like shadow in your vision, floaters, flashing lights, or wavy lines, see a retina specialist as soon as possible.
Your turn.
Your turn.
Do you feel anything?
She's dancing. Help protect your baby. Download the free Count the Kicks app. Studies show that regularly monitoring a baby's movements helps reduce the chance of stillbirth.
Your turn.
Count the Kicks. Visit countthekicks.org.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back to our election coverage. I think I jumped the gun a little bit there, so in case you missed it, welcome back to our election coverage. I am still Michelle Houle. I am still joined by Karen Hayden, but we have a special guest that I promised you right before the break, Nick DiZoglio. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Happy
Nick.
election night.
Happy election night.
I'm here as a candidate, as a former city councilor, a current city councilor, and the host of The Buzz.
From what I understand from our volunteers, it is the best show to work on. Please don't be offended, other producers, and I end quote.
I don't know if it's the best show, but it is a fun show. And the volunteers here at MCS are top notch. But, you know, the fact that we have a studio like this, that a community person just off the street, doesn't matter if you're a city councilor or an average Joe show, you know, you can come and use this facility free of charge. And your idea could be just broadcast across Methuen. That's amazing. And YouTube.
And YouTube.
And YouTube. So therefore, we are finally worldwide.
You are? Oh my God.
We are. We are worldwide.
Actually, you know what's funny is I have a cousin that lives in Los Angeles. And he called me once. He said, Nick, you have the highest paid police chief in the country. And I go, how do you know that? He's like, I'm in LA. I know everything. But then I started posting it on social media, The Buzz. And he's got a following of him and his friends watching this show because they just are now so in depth with Methuen. They love to hear about Methuen.
That's pretty cool to think that you have that big of a reach.
It's just a cousin. It's blood. You know, you have to be nice.
Hey, you know, no, but it's such a true thing that, like, you know, if you are willing, if you have the idea and you're willing to put in some time and effort, right? We have the tools here that people can use, and you guys have created quite the buzz with your show. Had to do that.
It's a fun show. I think with Jana and I being colleagues, but also have known each other for quite a while, and having our children not too close in age, but just how passionate we are about family. The two of us together is just very, the chemistry's there. And I think you can see that. And I think the bantering is like a brother-sister, or in my case, an elder versus a younger person.
We won't mention who's who.
We won't mention. Apparently I look very old these days, but no, she's a great partner to work with. And we've done 7 episodes together, and I think we're going to renew it for another year together.
Awesome. I hope you do it.
Win or lose.
Right. You should keep doing this.
I think we're going to keep doing it regardless, because this wasn't about being on the council and doing it as councilors. We try not to blend the two together. We use it as a local kind of thing.
Right. So talk a little bit about your time on the council. You know, what were some of your proudest accomplishments, you think?
You know, I look back at COVID. I look back at, you know, coming in, looking at a platform that completely got wiped out, literally. You know, I look at the trunk or treat event that we had at the Loop. I look back at some of those photos. I didn't even have a daughter then. It's crazy to think about. I just got married in 2018. 2020 happened.
Did 2020 happen? I kind of
It's
feel
crazy
like
to believe.
Yeah.
We're going on
I feel
5,
like it's a
6
whole
years.
year that was just gone.
But just being part of a community during COVID, we made sure seniors were protected. We made sure rent limits were capped. We made sure heating assistance was available, and we did that a lot through Mayor Perry's office, infrastructure projects. We had the death of a mayor, which led to a very dark time for Methuen while we got Councilor at Large Beauregard up to speed as mayor. Veterans, we've done a lot of veteran programs, a lot of tax cuts on seniors and veterans. Schools, look at the schools. I mean, we literally had a very dark time recently with the schools, with the situation with the rodents and and cleaning it up. But we came together as a community, and a lot of that came out in the MCS forums. Thank you guys for putting those on too, by the way.
Our pleasure.
Great hosts for those. What I'm proud about is I'm walking out of this 6 years on the council, 4 prior on the school committee, so 10 consecutive years. I still have my dignity. I still have my integrity. I'm still very much proud of being a Methuenite and being a voice for the community.
Now, obviously, as a counselor, you probably know the bylaws of the city a lot better than I do. So one of the questions that I've always had is, can you, as counselor at large, would you have been able to run for the district you live in?
No.
Or are you completely term limited out for the council?
Yeah, I'm termed out for the council. It's not about what position you hold. It's the contingency of that time on the council. So we're allowed up to 3 terms at 2 years a term. So that was 6. I was fortunate in my 4th year as a school committee member. There was an open seat, and that was Jen Kinnan running for mayor against former Mayor Perry. And so it was, I'm drawing a blank, Jessica Finicaro. And then there was also another open seat at large, and David Beauregard had picked that up, and I went after Jen Kinnan's seat when it opened.
So school committee, do they have the 6-year term limit? Because you just said you're already 4 years in.
So 4 years, but it's not continuous.
Okay.
So it restarts for me. So just very similar to like Mike Simard. Mike Simard's running for the West Council District seat. He took a term off. Now he's open for 3 consecutive terms.
So you can serve more than 6 terms if you just step back for 2 years.
Look at Ron. Look at Joyce. Look at Bob Vogler, who served like 30 years on the school committee. That man, rest his soul.
No, he's still alive.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way. I did not mean it that way.
I was going to say, I just saw Bob the other day. He's doing just fine.
God willing, no, he's a great guy.
Very
I
happy.
saw him this morning. I had coffee with him this morning. But I'm walking back though to the school committee if elected tonight, and the reason for it was to kind of close that 2 additional years that I still had open to serve 12 years consistently. But we have a lot of problems in the schools that I think we need that city council bylaws, the legislation, the partnerships that we built in the city. We need to bring that to the school committee, and I'm excited if elected. I don't know if you guys have numbers yet, but
We have some coming in now.
you have some coming in now, so hopefully knock on wood.
Yep.
But if elected, I'm looking forward to budget being number 1, superintendent, very close number 1 to that as well. And then also just bringing back some of the original school spirit. I feel like we lost some of that in the last 4 or 5 years with COVID, and just getting back to numbers. That's the thing. It's just we got to get that morale up. We got to get the spirit back, and I'm excited if elected.
Well, we'll see, I guess.
We know it's always an if, but you should have an answer soon.
I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting. Come on. You guys are the first to know.
We are the first to know.
We do have numbers from the senior center polling place ready to go. So control room, if you want to take that. So this is precincts 4 and 5 that voted at the Methuen Senior Center. And the 2 precincts together, we have Barbara Stobel with 141 votes and DJ Beauregard with 515.
Oh, that's a close race.
We have numbers in the at-large, and you can see that Ryan Robert DeZoglio has 352, Francisco Cirillo has 125, Dame Sarcione 187, John Richard Drew Jr. 266, Jana Zani Pesh 325, and Wanda Carolina Santos at 204. So this is, again, 1 polling place's numbers so far. And in the West race, we have Mike Simard with 388, Dan Shabilia Jr. with 219, and Patricia Valley with 384. In the school
This is
committee,
the number you care about, Nick.
in the school committee race, Nicholas DeZoglio at 346. Looks like, whoa, you're the top vote getter so far in the at the Methuen Senior Center precincts 4 and 5. Kenneth Robert Willett at 286, Kristen Maxwell at 252, Lori J. Keegan at 252 as well.
Wow, that's impressive.
Mary Beth Donovan Grassi at 317, Alejandro Alberto Baez at 243, Martha McCarthy Sirois at 263, Danielle Fantry 143, and Maria Isabel Figueroa at 211. So right now, I would say that it's still, too close. We've only got 2 precincts in, but,
And that's not
things
all
are
of the
looking good for
precincts.
you so far. And there are more West precincts, which is why we cannot call the race yet for Mike Simard, Dan Shabilia, and Patricia Valley.
Now, Senior Center, how many more do they have?
That is all the numbers from
That's
the Senior Center,
everybody from
so
the
that's
Senior Center?
everybody. Yep.
And
Okay.
when I was at the West, at the Marsh, there was over 1,000, 1,500 already that had voted at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. There was a lot of votes.
That's great.
At the Marsh. And I got to thank the West District candidates, and I also got to thank the at-large candidates. I think you hear on the buzz in the recent show, this was like the first time in a long time we had contested races across the board.
Yes.
And so a lot of these candidates went out and door knocked, met with people. Truly, I'm very proud of every single person being a Methuen resident, and also seeing some of the numbers out of just the Senior Center. That's some good numbers for such a small precinct, or
Two
area,
precincts,
two
yeah.
precincts. Some good volume coming out of there. So I'm proud that Methuen's going out to vote tonight. I'm proud that these candidates all put themselves out there, and I'm very excited to see what else comes out of tonight.
Putting yourself out there is probably the hardest part of being a candidate. At least, I'm guessing, because as we said earlier, I don't think I would ever be brave enough to do that.
I'm pretty sure there's a spouses text group out there.
Support group.
Support. Yeah, I was going to say support
group.
It's like candidates anonymous spouse group that's out there. And it's I got to thank my wife, who's been through this since the beginning. I mean, we met in 2014, and I ran for my first election in 2015. So she's been with me through
all of it.
Through all of this.
Yeah.
That's a special woman. Yeah.
She is the muscle, the backbone of everything. So don't cross her. Ask Jana. Don't cross her. I'm pretty sure they have a text group going together too, talking about what did Nick do last night, so I can make fun of him on a show or at home. So.
I'm gonna plead the fifth, but I think you might not be wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Very good.
So last thing is, you're looking at these numbers. This is the first time you're seeing them from the Senior Center. And as we said, that's only, I think, 13% of the actual city. But what does it do to see yourself at the top of that list? Is it, oh, good, I'm all set, everybody liked me?
No.
There's a whole city out there.
There's a whole city out there, but at the same time, I say this at large, and I say this for any candidate out there. It's not about the number 1 seed or 2 seed. This isn't the NFL where you get paid more for that. This is not a position that puts you anywhere else. You have 2 chances to win, or in this case, 6 chances to win. I am proud of being first or last. I mean, I've learned very much over these years that it's a privilege. You earn this. You don't own it. You've not deserved this. You earn it. And it's based off of the work that you do. That's either through campaigning or, again, the work that you've done. Right. In my case, I would hope my record has shown to Methuen that I'm about Methuen. I wouldn't sell the city for $1. And I can't say that about everyone in politics today. And not here in Methuen, I'm not saying, but you look at the people around us in different communities. I don't want to bring up other communities, but there's a community where the state's overseeing it, and it's the border town here. Mm-hmm. Like that to me is, if you need to steal an election, you didn't earn it. Mm-hmm. And the city will figure that out in the long run.
Well, thank you.
Not to get dark or anything.
I know.
On that note,
Back to the
on that note, I'm kicked out. Good night.
See you later.
The Buzz.
Check out The Buzz. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
I'll be watching the rest of you guys at Mayor Beauregard's event at the Irish Cottage.
Okay.
I think I just let that out of the box, so everyone's going to be going to the Irish Cottage.
Okay. So Irish Cottage.
What time?
Until around.
I'll be leaving
hours?
I'm going to be leaving at 9. I promised my wife that I would go home at 9, and we'll put on the rest of the MCS's coverage.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Thank you,
And
ladies.
thank you for your time on the council. You know, we know that I'm sure there were some times it was easy and sometimes it was hard, but you know, you were always there. Yeah. And we appreciate that you took that on and that you served us well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And
we'll find out if you'll be a school committee member, hopefully by in a little while.
Yep, and I'll be on the Buzz, and then I'll also be on the Methuen football.
On the broadcast.
On the broadcast too. I've been hearing that's been fun too for me.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. See, another way you can volunteer.
Yeah, feel free if you want to. I know the girls basketball and the boys basketball is looking for some announcers. So if any of you like to call sports, folks, call MCS and get involved.
Yeah, or camera work for it.
Camera work for it. These guys right here are amazing. All these people.
But on that plug, we're going to take a 1-minute break and let you get back to the party.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Hopefully, congratulations.
It's congratulations regardless. 10 amazing years or 2 more additional.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you. We will be back in 1 minute. Clear?
Great.
Are we clear?
The warmth of our laugh. Or our family's secret sauce. We all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
Hi, I'm Leland Melvin, and I traveled to space twice as a NASA astronaut. Space technologies help protect our precious Earth. Space helps us monitor changes in carbon emissions, track the pace of climate change. It even helps us fight natural disasters. Make sure that you get out to your local science museum or go to spaceforall.us to explore and learn about space and science. Space is for all.
For election night 2025. That sounds so official. Election night 2025. And speaking of official, we have one of the most official candidates on the ballot. Barbara Stowe-Bell, you are finding out tonight whether you are going to be our next mayor or not. And first of all, as we were just talking to Nick about, and I think you heard a little bit of it, thank you for putting your name out there. Thank you for putting yourself out there. You had quite a journey to even make it to candidate, didn't you?
Yes, I did. It was very last minute. I ended up going to City Hall on July 3rd. The decision for me came late in the game because I was expecting to see someone step up from City Council or the school committee, especially where there was so much animosity out there. And I was rather stunned, I still am, that no one stepped up but crossed over. And I think that we need to have people who are very brave take a deep breath and say, I can do this too. I do not believe that my numbers are going to blast off the planet. I recognize coming into this that I had no name recognition. I've not been in public office. But I did this as a thank you to the community that gave me an education that allowed me to propel myself to college, to jobs in my community that skyrocketed a young girl from Methuen, Massachusetts to become an executive in New York City. If that is not a story of success from a fourth generation Methuen family and the eldest daughter, and I don't know what is. And so I wanted to share that story. I wanted to share it with other people and children in particular. I didn't have a lot of time to work with the Methuen School Committee in my campaign, which I am sorry about, because I was propelled to be here because of my own personal education in Methuen. And I see the challenges there. But I look at the talent base that has come across in this campaign. Every single person who is running, whether they're an incumbent or a brand new person to government like myself, is amazing. And the diversity of the group is something that Methuen, across the board, we should be proud of. The women have stepped up in a way that I don't think has ever happened in this community before. And of all races, creeds, and colors, it's a beautiful garden out there of talent. And so however that comes out in the end now, it is to our benefit. However these people, we all shake out in whatever information, we're given tonight. I wish the very best to every single person that ran. And for those who are listening right now, there is going to be another election in 2 years, and there are going to be more people needed. New ideas of the weapon of what is happening around us, which is not bringing the best to Methuen. We need to always be stepping up and looking forward, and I hope, if anything, anyone who's out there, if you ever thought about running, just do it. I did not come here to win. I never expected that as a possibility. We have a very talented man in the city's mayoral position. I came here as an example of what must happen to keep democracy moving forward. And that meant somebody needed to run against our mayor, DJ Beauregard. And if it was not someone already in place, it was going to be me.
Well, congratulations on running a great campaign, first of all.
Thank you.
We do have some more numbers, and so if you don't mind, we'd like to get to those now.
Wonderful.
And it's good because you get to see them.
And you get to see some
I love
of them.
this. This is
so
great.
We'll start with the mayor's race. We have, I believe,
and where
precincts
are these numbers coming from, Karen?
4, 5, 8, 11, 1, and 2 have reported in. And this is the totals that we have for that, if it's ready. I hope I didn't jump the gun. I'm sorry I did. So I'm going to...
see a lot of head shakes going, so
but I can...
how you doing?
I'm sorry about that, guys.
I could stay here forever, so don't worry about
That's
me.
okay. Well,
I'm very happy
were
to
saying,
be right here.
Let me know when you're ready, guys.
If you would like to just, put your hat in the ring to take over for one of us.
Next time.
Apparently I missed that signal completely.
You might want to, we'll start with that one. But I joke about that, but do you think you see yourself staying with the city government in terms of finding out a little bit more, working towards it, and maybe coming back in 2 years and putting your name?
I do. I'm going to put everybody on notice right now. I will be back. I will run again as mayor. I expect to see more people running with me because Mayor Beauregard deserves that. And that is how we keep our democracy healthy and flourishing, and we bring the new vitality to our beautiful historic city and move ourselves into the 21st century. So yes, The committee to elect Barbara Stobel for mayor 2027 will probably begin this evening. I am, I'm saying that with a big smile on my face, ha ha ha. But I did get a master's in public affairs and administration. I know I have a lot of gaps in my resume when it comes to public service. That is not going to stop me. That is going to motivate me. I have a list of different places I would like to serve, and I have tons of time. And I'm a person with unending energy. So I've got to do something with it for the next 2 years. And I hope that I am as productive as I possibly could be for the city and for the people living here.
Now, we do have to remember that the numbers that have come in...
No, I know. But I am not a silly businesswoman. I don't have time for silly information. I'm a realist. And I want Methuen to know that about me, because I hope that what they see, and for those people that did vote for me, first of all, thank you so very, very much, because you're a gambler and you're a risk taker, and that's what we need in this city. We need people who are willing to vote and take a chance on the new blood coming in. Because if we don't, we keep voting for the same clusters of people. And you all know that I'm right. So, and again, I think it's wonderful, but at a certain point in time, we have to let the youth into the community. This is across the board in American government right now, and we must have more women participating, 50% across the board, because, there are 50% of us in the world. So those are just kind of the things I think about when I'm home alone.
We just scare the men more sometimes.
Well, there is, much reason to be scared. Women are very, very, tremendous energy, power, clarity of thought, able to deal with many problems simultaneously, and our goal is always to unite, other than to explode. That's kind of my take on it.
And it sounds like you just described yourself pretty well. And I've only had a chance to get to know you over the last 4 or 5 months. But it sounds pretty much like that's right on.
That's a very nice compliment, so thank you. And I hope so. I hope that I come across that way. I love what I do. I have boundless energy. I love learning. I like big, complex problems. The worse they are, the happier I am. I'm the girl who will raise her hand and say, what's the worst problem today? Give it to me. I got nothing to do but think. And that's what's missing, I think, in government today. We don't have a time when people are able to really think together. It's about always the doing, the doing, the doing. And business is the same way. It's about, the production, right? But in the thinking together, right, in those quiet moments, that's when the great ideas emerge. And it's in the details, in those nasty, tiny, awful details, that the secrets are. And you have to go out there like a detective, and find the answers for your city, for your future.
Right. Well, we have a little bit of an answer. We do have some numbers that are ready to go.
Okay.
All right, so in the West District, we have 4 of the 5 precincts reporting, and Mike Simard has 1,314 votes, Dan Shabilia Jr. 666, and Patricia Valley 938. Going on to, we get ready to do some mayor and at-large numbers? No, okay.
Okay.
All right, so school committee? No. Okay, I guess everything's coming together real slow, but I can say, I'll just say it verbally, at this point, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 precincts, 7 precincts reporting, that we have Barbara Stobel with 491 votes, and DJ Beauregard with 2,029.
All righty, there you go.
So,
I think
sorry
we can
to deliver that.
I can call that for you.
I was going to say, I think when it's the candidate herself calling
yes, and if I can do that, if that's appropriate, I want to congratulate the mayor. I'm delighted that those numbers came through for him, and I'm going to continue to do that. The whole purpose of this exercise was to raise awareness in the issues that are confronting our community that we love and that we're concerned about. And Mayor Beauregard knows that about us. That's why he's where he is. And I'm delighted that people recognize that. My work is done. I have accomplished what I set out to do. At the age of 67, I threw my hat in the ring. I think that deserves a little nod for the seniors. And I do want to apologize to the senior center. You have not seen me a lot because I am one of you. And it takes me longer to do everything than everybody else. And I hate to admit that, but that is the truth. So for those of you who think you have not seen me quite as much as I should be, yes, that is because it takes me twice as long to get there.
You're just twice as thorough.
Well, I am that as well, which is annoying to the sign of the Virgo. So now you know everything you need to know about me. But to be here tonight, and I just want to share this, in government, in real time, in live time, getting numbers about who is going to help run our community. I have goosebumps from head to toe. And to be here at the Methuen Community Studios, that this resource of information on so many levels, every time I turn to you as a resource, I'm learning more and more and more about what a valuable organization you are. And I have to tell you, from the moment I walked into your building, my entire campaign changed. And it was because I felt welcomed. I felt like I was where I needed to be, that this is how I was going to build recognition. If I couldn't, because the people that are watching Methuen Community Studios programming, especially about government, we are the junkies, okay?
Yep.
We are the
and
people
you're probably going to vote as well.
Oh, and I know you're going to vote. And I know you have a list that you put in your pocket because you want to make sure you didn't forget, because we're thinking about how important these people are going to be to us for the next 2 years, and then, as we heard from Nick, an entire career. And that's what this offers us. And it is something to protect and hold dear and true, and remind yourself of the beautiful history 250 years ago that we're about to celebrate, right? And Methuen being a part of that as well. It doesn't get better than that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, it was. I'm glad you made it over, and you have your, you did what you set out to do. And what else? What a better way to end your this campaign?
Well, and
by feeling that you did accomplish what you wanted to.
I mean, I knew I was a long shot, and I also did not run a campaign where I was looking for donation. I was looking for volunteers. I did not do a lot with media that I did not feel comfortable with, because I am not the generation of the Facebook people. And when I try, I am not very good at it. And we all see that, and I get into trouble. I think this is cool. I'm going to just send this out. The next thing you know, I've offended the world. That's not my goal. My goal is to talk to people, one-on-one, and to connect with them. And if there's something out there in between, now and then, I welcome it, because I believe that one of the challenges for seniors is this part of life that's almost our third opportunity. And as long as I can sit in a chair, have a conversation, somebody wants to listen to me, I'm going to be playing this game. It's that important, and it took me a long time to get here. So I'm not going to walk away from it for a while. But it's going to open up, I think, wonderful possibilities. So we'll see where that takes me.
We'll see where that takes you.
I'm ready for the ride.
All right. Thank you for being brave enough to play the game.
Well, when people use the word brave, that's a kind of an overwhelming, thought. And I've heard it a few times recently, and I don't think about it as being brave. I just think about it as it needs to be done. It's like doing the dishes in the kitchen. No, you don't really want to do it, but it's got to be done.
It's got to be done.
Well, that's how I sort of felt about running. I knew that the chance of winning was, again, astounding, unless I put a ton of money against this and did all this crazy stuff. And I'm a hometown girl. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to chit-chat with people where I find you, tell you who I am, and walk around with my pocketbook that says, Mayor. and have fun, and bring some real passion to it, but at a different viewpoint, and not compete with people who are in their element, because I'm not going to succeed that way. So, but we can find common ground, and that's what I love about this process. And it is the most amazing thing to ask people for their signature in order to be able to run. And when they give it to you, you think you won the lotto. So again, for anybody, any age, who says these words, I should run. Yes, you should. You should run.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I don't have anything to say beyond that, which is very rare. And
I know we've got some numbers to
glad
do.
tell you
so.
that. So if you want to take a look at some of those numbers.
Are we ready with some numbers? No.
Okay.
What's up
well, then
with
in
that?
that case, how about we go back into one of those 1-minute breaks, or 2 minutes, depending on the control room's choice. And, you know, I know they sound like commercials, and we don't call them commercials, but these are PSAs that are actually really important. So do listen while you run to the fridge and get that cup of coffee, iced coffee.
Iced coffee would be in the fridge.
Yes, it would be in the fridge. I also don't drink coffee, so when you're going to get that Diet Coke, it's time to listen in on these PSAs as well. And we will be back in 1 minute. How 1 minute goes really, really fast
Yes,
when
it
you're
does.
trying to slip in a few other things. We are taking a look at some of the numbers, and they are coming in fairly slow. But, you know, Karen, we've been doing this for 20-something years together, and this is actually really fast.
Yes, they've come. We're on the last precinct now, so hopefully we'll have everything for you in just 10 or 15 minutes.
I mean, I remember back in the day when it was, 9:30 p.m. and we still didn't have any numbers, and you'd been listening to us for 2.5 hours and thinking, okay, please give us numbers. So we really want to thank the volunteers, like I said before, who are out there getting those numbers, as well as the ones who are putting them up on the screen tonight, our camera people who are making sure that we look the best we can. It's a hard job on my side, not yours. I'm willing to admit it.
Well,
and
at this point, we do have all of the numbers for the mayor's race, and we can definitely call it. Barbara Stobel has 1,064 votes, and DJ Beauregard has 4,459 votes. So it is definite that DJ Beauregard will begin his first of his own terms as mayor of the city.
And this is actually. So Mayor Beauregard.
Mayor Beauregard. Although he likes it, he doesn't mind if you call him DJ.
Yeah. So DJ actually started as a counselor at large and stepped in when Mayor Perry was ill.
Yes.
Probably about a year and a half ago now. Went back to being counselor at large, stepped in at Mayor Perry's passing, and then was elected into this office. But that means that he still has 3 terms that he can run. Well, apparently 2 after tonight. So he probably is one of the longest serving mayors in history for Methuen, in that he's got that extra year and a half
Well, he has experience. Like, how many people actually have real experience the first time they step into the mayor's office, right? So he stepped in because the mayor was ill, and he got a lot of experience. So we're going to be able to run through the numbers now. Okay, let's do it because we're going to have some fun. Okay, Counselor at Large. We have Ryan Robert DiZoglio with 3,112 votes, Francisco Cirillo with 924, James Sarcioni with 1,806, John Richard Drew Jr., 2,444, Jana Zani Pesh at 2,541, and Wanda Carolina Santos at 1,864. So according to those numbers, can you go back to that for 1 second? The three people who will be serving us as Counselor at Large will be Ryan Robert DiZoglio, John Richard Drew Jr., and Jana Zani Pesh.
So we actually have one incumbent who's going to be following through, one political newcomer, and one who's switching over from the school committee. So it's kind of a
nice mix
that we're going to be seeing there.
Okay, now we can go to the next one. So East District Counselor, we have all of the precincts reporting. And Nellie Soto has 1,053. Ian Michael Buckley, 764. And Ronald P. Marsan, the current chair of the council, is 1,159. So the two who will be serving the East District are Nellie Soto and Ronald P. Marsan. Go to the next one. In the Central District, looks like that race was a little tighter. So the newcomer Ella Page McLaren has 806 votes. Sharon Birchall, 557. Luann Alana Santos, 399. And Yanilda Santos, 640. So the two people who will be serving the Central District are Ella Page McLaren and Yanilda Santos. And we have the next one up. West District. Congratulations to Mike Simard with 1,417 votes, Dan Shabilia Jr., 762, and Patricia Valley at 1,108. So Mike Simard and Patricia Valley will be serving the West District. School Committee. Well, I think Nick will be very pleased with these results.
But I have to say, and I realize that this is actually coming from the entire city, but it's nice to see that there's not a single thing smaller than 4 digits.
No, everybody got votes, which is fantastic. Nicholas DiZoglio has 3,120 votes. Kenneth Robert Willett, 2,408. Kristen Maxwell, 2,197. Lori J. Keegan, 2,354. Mary Beth Donovan Grassi, 2,731. Alejandro Alberto Baez, 1,787. Martha McCarthy Sarois, 2,390. Danielle Fantry, 1,270. And Maria Isabella Figueroa at 1,693. So the 6 top vote getters will be serving the city on the school committee, and they are Nicholas DiZoglio, looks like Robert Willett, Lori Keegan, Mary Beth Donovan Grassi, and Martha Sarois. Did I miss anyone?
I don't think so. That is your 6.
Yeah.
So the 3 that are left behind, so to speak, are... Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
That was perfect. So look for the stars.
Look for the stars.
Reach for the stars, and you'll always be lucky. It's kind of nice to see that there was this many people even turn out.
This is like the first time we've had 9 people run for school committee, I think, since, the last time we did it, I think we did the forum at the Timony School, which was a long, long time ago.
I've heard everything from 6 years to 10 years. That it's been, or 3 terms, 4 terms, 5 terms, that it has been that long for people to have actually had somebody on the school committee at all that they even needed to vote, because the most we've ever had was 6 candidates, and sometimes it was even less than that.
And now we have a guest. So let's join our guest right now.
Ian Buckley, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You look a little different than we saw you last. You were in the nice, big suit last time. This is more...
I'm in the nice MSL hoodie.
I was going to say, this is more my speed personally. Yeah. So, so how are things going on your mind right now?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. I got a decent amount of votes from my calculations over there. And so I'm just happy with that. I'm happy that people believed in me and came out and voted for me. And it just means a lot.
This is your first time running.
Yeah.
But you still have a year or two left before you'd be ready to retire anyway.
Just one or two.
Yeah, just one or two.
Yeah, just a few.
So do you see yourself coming back in 2 years?
I'd like to, yeah. Yeah, I would like to. It's been a lot of fun. It's been great to connect with people and hear them out and hear what they have to say about the city. And I'd like to make an impact and a change in a proactive way for our city. I'd like to take an active role because I'd like to stay here. I'd like to raise a family here. And, we have a great spot here with a lot of potential. And I don't want to give up on it.
That's a great way to look at it. And, it's one of the things we've been saying is it's very brave to put yourself out there. And you put yourself out there against two incumbents, which, in my opinion, even steps that up a little bit more. Yeah. So really good job on that, first of all. And you did have a good showing, like you said. So where do you think the East District will be going, and how are you going to be helping Nellie and Ron?
Yeah, I'd like to help them if they'd have me. No, they have a lot to teach me if they'd be open to giving me some time, even just a coffee or anything like that. Yeah, I've got a lot to learn, definitely. And hopefully next time I'll be even better equipped. I may even have my JD at that point, and I'd be even in a better position to serve the city.
No, I think that's so true, because obviously because of term limits, there are opportunities for people like yourself, to step in the role. So it's good to run even if you don't win, because people start to learn who you are, hopefully remember your name the next time. And when there's, incumbents who have to step back and there's new people coming in, it's an opportunity that you can definitely take a hold of if you are looking to get in as a counselor to serve the city.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's your plan.
So
learn what you can in the meantime and continue your studies in law. What kind of law are you planning to practice?
So my dad does personal injury. I'm currently in my first semester at Mass Law. Mm-hmm. So one of the classes, the prereqs that we have to take right at the beginning is crim law. I'm enjoying that a lot. I've got a lot of great professors over there. So all spheres of the law are very interesting to me right now.
So you don't have to pick yet?
Don't have to pick yet.
That's excellent.
Well, you can always kind of mix it up, can't you? Be a personal injury criminal lawyer. I don't think it works that way.
No.
Maybe. We'll see.
You could just kind of open your whole new practice.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the people of Methuen while you're here?
Yeah. Thank you all for coming out and voting for me. It means a lot. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate you believing in me. And I hope you see that I have, a good heart and good intentions, and I'd like to help the city. And just thank you so much. I know that coming out and casting your vote really means something. It means something to me. It's not something just to throw away and just to check a box. So I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
All right.
So let's take a look at those numbers one more time if the control room has them ready.
Yeah.
You might have guessed I can't actually see Karen's computer from here, so I'm going to leave it up to her.
All right. I'll read them off for the people of Methuen again. We have Barbara Stobel with 1,064 votes and DJ Beauregard, who will begin his own term as mayor, with 4,459 votes. Next up, we've got at large, I believe. We have Ryan Robert DeZoglio with 3,112 votes, Francisco Cirillo with 924, James Sarcioni with 1,806, John Richard Drew Jr., 2,444, Jana Zani-Pesh at 2,541. And by the way, Jana, you said if you won, you'd be coming over, so I'm going to hold you to that. Wanda Carolina Santos at 1,864. So the 3 people who are serving as councilors at large, Ryan Robert DeZoglio, John Richard Drew Jr., and Jana Zanipesh. School committee. So I guess the buzz will continue with both members of the show serving the city still in an official capacity.
It could be kind of even more interesting though, because we're going to have
school committee. Ooh, that could be fun. School committee members will be Nicholas DeZoglio at 3,120 votes, Kenneth Robert Willett, 2,408, Kristen Maxwell at 2,197, Lori J. Keegan at 2,354, Mary Beth Donovan Grassi, 2,731, Alejandro Alberto Baez, 1,787, Martha McCarthy Sorois, 2,390, Danielle Fantry, 1,270, and Maria Isabella Figueroa at 1,693. And you can see the 6 that are marked with asterisks will be serving as school committee members. In the Central District, we have Ella Page McLaren winning a seat with 806 votes. Sharon Burchell has 557. Luann Alana Santos, 399. And the other Central District Councilor will be Yanilda Santos with 640. In the West District, you have Mike Simard returning to the City Council at 1,417 votes. Dan Shabilia Jr., 762, and Patricia Valley, who will continue to serve as an incumbent, 1,108 votes. Congratulations to them both. In the East District, we have Nellie Soto with 1,053, Ian Michael Buckley, who we just had on set, with 764, and Ronald P. Marsan with 1,159 votes. So the 2 incumbents from the East District are returning to serve in that capacity. Just catching up with the GLTHS School Committee, that is the Technical High School. Thomas Raymond Hayden has 3,580 votes, and Bradley J. Jones, 3,354 votes. They are both elected to serve on the GLTHS School Committee. In the Housing Authority, there are 2 people running and there are 2 seats available. So they are both elected. Nancy Reardon has 3,632 votes, and Ellen Barry Weinhold, 2,870 votes. And finally, for the trustees for the Nevins Memorial Library, one of the best places in town, by the way. We absolutely love the library. The trustees race, it was actually contested. There are 3 people running for 2 seats. Kelsey Francis Shabilia, 2,035 votes. Christine Tuma Conway, 3,427 votes. And David Boucher, 2,295 votes. So the 2 trustees will be Christine Tuma Conway and David Boucher. Wow, that's a lot of numbers.
That is a lot of numbers. Good job.
But I, like I said, I am so excited that there were so many contested races. You know, because as Barbara was saying, democracy lives when people participate in it, right? And one of the ways that you can participate is to actually run for office. And the city needs, you know, talented professional people of all walks of life, you know, to contribute to the council, to contribute to our school committee and our library and our housing authority and all of these other places that you can serve. And if you don't actually get elected to an office, you know, there are city boards also that require people, the zoning board and the disabilities commission and, you know, all these other different boards that require people to sit, you know, through meetings and listen to, you know, people in the community and make decisions that will hopefully serve the community in its best interest. So if you have any interest in doing that, the city has an application on the website and you can go fill it out, and you know, hopefully if you're not elected to an office, you can serve on a board.
I love local elections that sounds like a really bad commercial that I'm starting. I love local, but I love the fact that it is so local, is the big word, is local. And the reason that I love local elections is these are the people that I'm actually going to see day to day. They're not going to be just somebody who gets on a plane, goes to Washington, tells me what's going on, or goes to the State House and tells me what's going on. These are the people that I'm going to run into in Market Basket or Panera. Well, that's Salem, so we won't run into them there. I'll go over to Olive Garden. These are the people that I'm going to run into in my day-to-day. These are the people that I can pick up the phone and say, hey, somebody didn't plow my street today.
That's right.
You know, I didn't get my garbage picked up. These people are not just my elected officials, they're my neighbors. And it's literally that you could be living next to somebody who's making city decisions for you. And it's kind of important not only to speak up for the election times, but to let them know the rest of the year. That's why we have public participation. The meetings are always, you know, offered for people to come forward and just kind of talk about whatever it is that is on their mind. And so that is my reason for loving local elections, is that it is very local. And speaking of local, we are the local TV channel. Did you know that, Karen?
I did know that.
Oh, you might have heard it mentioned once or twice. I really want to thank once again, and yes, I am pushing this, our volunteers who've come in to help out and the guests who've come in too, because it is not easy to sit up here and tap dance for 2 hours and talk about not much. But it is fun, first of all.
Okay.
But it's just nice to know that it's something that you are nice enough to tune us in. The volunteers here are nice enough to help out. And more importantly, I can stop talking because we have more numbers.
Yes, I think we're going to run through numbers again. And then, you know, we'll see if anyone else comes in to join us. So let's start with the mayor's race, please. The mayor's race, Barbara Stobel, a political newcomer, got 1,064 votes. And DJ Beauregard, the incumbent, received 4,459. And so he will be serving as our mayor.
DJ and I had an interesting conversation at the very beginning of election season. And he said that he was happy to have somebody open up and step into the ring with him because of the fact that all of the things Barbara said.
Yes.
He wanted to know that people had a choice and that those 4,459 people were choosing DJ Beauregard, not just saying, oh, well, he's who we've got anyway.
Right. We don't have another choice.
Yeah. So I think that's really something to be said for both of them.
For both of them. They ran a good campaign, and they knew that it was important to have a campaign. All right, looking at Councilor at Large, we have Ryan Robert DeZoglio, 3,112. Francisco Cirillo, 924. James Sarcioni, 1,806. John Richard Drew Jr., 2,444. Jana Zani Pesh, 2,541. And Wanda Carolina Santos with 1,864. And the three with asterisks, Mr. DeZoglio, Mr. Drew, and Ms. Pesh will be the councilors at large.
I saw all three of them out today just holding signs, waving to everybody. It was not as cold as it's been in some years.
No, but it was windy.
But it was windy, and those signs looked like they were going to just blow them away any second. And that's another dedication to what they're going to be doing and kind of proof that they're already willing to work for it.
Right. Okay, we'll look at the next race, the school committee. 6 of these folks were elected out of the 9 who ran. We'll start with Nicholas DeZoglio, 3,120. Kenneth Robert Willett, 2,408. Kristen Maxwell, 2,197. Lori J. Keegan, 2,354. Mary Beth Donovan Grassi, 2,731. Alejandro Alberto Baez, 1,787. Martha McCarthy Sorois, 2,390. Danielle Fantry, 1,270. And Maria Isabella Figueroa, 1,693. So there will be some experience on this school committee. I believe Mary Beth Donovan-Grassi had been sitting on there in an appointed seat. Lori Keegan had been elected, and so had Kristen Maxwell before. And Kenneth Robert Ouellette was also, I think, appointed as well.
Yes,
so there's
he
some
was.
experience in this group, but there's also a couple of newcomers to the group, and you have one former city councilor who is coming over to the school side.
Now, Ken Ouellette was actually a school committee member and a city councilor.
He has done
in
both.
the past.
Yes.
And so I think he's bringing a lot of
his experience as
a
well.
lot of his experience with him, and I think he'll be a good mentor, as will Nick and Kristen and Lori and Mary Beth. And Martha is actually, this is her first time running for school committee.
Yes.
Well, it may not be her first time running, but it is her first time serving. Yeah. So that is kind of right there a great way for her to get a chance to get her feet wet.
Yep. Okay. And looking at some of the districts, Central District Councilor Ella Page McLaren at 806, Sharon Birchall 557, Luann Alana Santos 399, Yanilda Santos for 640. So there are two newcomers who will be serving the Central District, Ella Page McLaren and Yanilda Santos. In the West District, Mike Simard returns to the council with 1,417 votes. Dan Chibilia Jr., 762. And Patricia Valley, the incumbent, will continue to serve with 1,108 votes. And I think we have the East. Yes, we do. Nellie Soto with 1,053. Ian Michael Buckley, 764. And Ronald P. Marsan, I'm sorry, I can't call him Ronald.
No, he's Ron.
Ron Marsan with 1,159. They are incumbents, and they will be returning with their experience to continue to serve on the council. The GLTHS School Committee, these two gentlemen will both be serving, representing Methuen at the Technical Regional High School. Thomas Raymond Hayden, sorry.
Gee, I wonder why you thought it was
Hayden. 3,580, and Bradley J. Jones, 3,354. The Housing Authority will be represented by these two ladies, Nancy Reardon, 3,632, and Ellen Barry Weinhold, 2,870.
And Nancy is actually a returning
She's
Housing
returning
Authority
Housing Authority
member.
person. Yep. Mm-hmm. And the Nevins Memorial Library Trustees, a very important organization in our community. Kelsey Francis Shibilia is 2,035. Christine Tuma Conway, 3,427. She is also, I believe, returning.
Yes, she is.
She is returning to the trustees. And David Boucher, who I believe is new to the political scene, 2,295 votes.
So once again, we want to thank all of those candidates for putting their names out there. But I really want to thank some of the probably most important people in any election, and that's the voters. The voters are, when you get up and you go to a polling place, or you fill out your form and mail it in, or you go early, however it is that you cast your vote, you are letting these political leaders, you're letting the people know whether or not you like what they're doing. Do you agree with what they stand for? Do you want to switch it up? And it may seem like you're not necessarily writing them a letter that says, hey, I like this or don't like that. But you are saying that when you cast a vote for somebody or you don't cast a vote for somebody. And that's how sometimes you'll even see where two people who ran neck and neck have different numbers because maybe somebody voted just for one person and didn't vote for the other because they wanted to get their point across to that candidate. And so it always kind of fascinates me to see that the numbers are different when you have somebody who's running uncontested for a citywide event, or citywide office, I should say.
Well, one good thing is, it appears that over 5,000 people showed up to vote in this election, and that, I believe, is a pretty, healthy turnout here in the city of Methuen for a local election that is not a presidential election year. So Methuen, you went out there and you made your voice heard. So we want to thank, first of all our volunteers who helped us out. And what are we doing now?
I believe this is called stretching.
Oh, that is why. Okay.
So we are, as Karen was saying,
we have the best volunteers. First of all, we do, because it takes a small army to do a program like this. We've had to send people to every polling place. We've had people creating, graphics, doing camera work, helping prep all of these numbers and get them ready to go on the air. Checking the social media. And being in contact with all the candidates. By the way, there were a lot of them this year, and I felt like that was like almost a full-time job in itself, was just reaching out and staying in touch with all of the different people who were running for office.
I think there was 26 candidates altogether.
A lot. There were
all of these offices. So that is definitely a lot more than we're used to seeing.
More than what we're used to seeing, and so that's what's really great about local politics and an organization like this one, where we aren't beholden to any commercial interests. This is a community organization. And because of that, we can chart the course of the kinds of things that we get to do. And local election coverage, we have felt for the longest time, is one of the most important things that we do. Because candidates, especially at the local level, don't have a ton of money to spend, but they need to get known, they need to get their word out. They can't get to every door in this community. If they tried to knock on them all, they would, they wouldn't be able to do it. So this is a place where they can come, make statements, sit in a forum with their fellow candidates, answer the questions that we get from viewers and we get from people in the community, as well as researching the issues that we'd like to talk about, and becoming part of this democratic process. We want to keep it alive and well here in Methuen, and that's something that we've made a priority here. The other thing that we've kind of made a priority here is having a local news magazine program. And Michelle has hosted that program since day one.
June 26, 2003, but who's counting?
2003, we have had a show called Methuen Now.
I had to stutter over it because it was kind of like, no, it can't be that. Oh, it is. But yeah, it's been since
local
2003,
news.
And we call it the Good News Program of Methuen, but it's most important about Methuen.
Right. And, having the opportunity to tell stories, about what's going on here in Methuen, about what residents in this community are doing. I'm just thinking about the Clean River Project, for example. The first time that Rocky Marson and all those boaters went out to clean up the river, we had a camera there. And we were the first people to let others know that this was happening in the community and that you could get involved. So we'd love to tell the stories of, other nonprofits when they started, like the Foster Kids of the Merrimack Valley, when the Giordano family started that. So the good things that are happening in this community.
We haven't done it for a while. I don't know what that noise was. The voice didn't come out. When we first started Methuen Now, we used to do a lot of highlights on people who just had unusual hobbies or just fun stuff that they like to do. And I really love to see us get back to those. So if you happen to have an unusual hobby or know someone who does, definitely give us a call, because it's just, we talked to a man who literally his entire basement was his train set.
His train set.
And he actually built it so it went outside in the summer and it went through the basement windows and it expanded out. And Following Your Muse actually spoke with a different gentleman in another part of Methuen who has almost the same setup. And it is not the same man, I checked. So it's kind of cool to have these people that are on the channel, because again, it's something we can focus on that you're not going to see on the bigger channels or the bigger stations.
That's right.
We get to be local. And so one of the best ways to do it is to just kind of, I have no clue what that signal was that he just gave us. I know, I'm supposed to keep this quiet, but, okay, he wants us to say numbers.
Numbers, we can do numbers.
We have to remind
Can you do
them-
the numbers this time?
I will do the numbers this time.
Thank
As
you.
long as they have them up on the screen, I can do them. So let's start with the mayor's office, please, if control room's ready. So we have the challenger Barbara R. Stobel with 1,064, and the current incumbent mayor DJ Beauregard will be returning with 4,459 votes. And this is 99% of the precincts reporting, but I think it's pretty safe to say that that's going to be the final numbers. So let's look at Councillor at Large. And Councillor at Large, there will be 3 people taking seats. And they will be Ryan Robert DeZoglio with 3,112 votes, John Richard Drew Jr. with 2,444, and Jana Zani Pesh with 2,541. The other contestants, Wanda Carolina Santos with 1,864, James Sarcioni with 1,806, and Francisco Cirillo with 924. We'll see them again in 2 years when they put their name in again, I hope. And we wish them best of luck when we see them again in 2 years. Next slide, please, is school committee. And the school committee is 6 seats out of 9 candidates. And we have Nicholas DeZoglio topping the ticket at 3,120. And we promise he did not stop in the control room and ask anybody to fix that on his way out. We have Ken Robert Willett at 2,408, Kristen Maxwell with 2,197, Lori Keegan with 2,354, and we have Mary Beth Donovan Grassi with 2,731, Alejandro Alberto Bayos with 1,787, Martha McCarthy Sorois with 2,390, Danielle Fantry with 1,270, and Maria Isabel Figueroa with 1,693. So the school committee will consist of Nicholas DeZoglio, Ken Willett, Kristen Maxwell, Lori Keegan, Mary Beth Donovan Grassi, and Martha McCarthy Sorois, as well as the mayor, DJ Beauregard, as the chair. So let's take a quick look at some of the other district numbers before we come back. For Central, okay, or maybe we'll just come back. Did we mention live television? This is really the fun of it. Mr. Mayor.
Hello.
And Mr. Mayor-elect, how does that work? Which title?
Well, I view it as sort of steady as she goes, where I was in the office today and I'll be going into the office tomorrow and there's really going to be no change, but I am just so grateful to the people of Methuen for coming out to vote today, for making your voices heard, and for having faith in me to continue serving as mayor for 2 more years. I am also grateful to Barbara Stobel for running a spirited campaign. She was a great opponent to be able to engage in, I guess, a debate and idea exchange with. And I wish her all the best and look forward to involving her and working with her in the future. And we're back at it tomorrow. Again, congratulations to, I know you mentioned this earlier, but congratulations to the counselors, the re-elected counselors, the new counselors, school committee folks. Everybody was on the ballot today, and I want to thank not only the people of Methuen for coming out to vote, but thank you to all the candidates who saw fit to stand up and put themselves forward. And if you didn't make it this time, there's always next time, and I hope everyone continues to stay as involved as possible.
Okay. We want to thank you really for stopping by as well. We've already heard rumor that you're on your way to a party.
Yes.
There's no secrets in Methuen, in case you wondered.
No.
Yeah. The buzz just kind of goes around.
We're the small town that happens to be a city of 53,000 residents. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yes, we definitely have that small town Mayberry feel sometimes.
Right? Exactly.
I wanted to know what you thought was maybe your best accomplishment so far as the mayor of Methuen.
So it's Tough to really hone in on one. I think that, it's pretty interesting how, we lost Mayor Perry so unexpectedly and so suddenly, roughly a year and give or take a couple of months ago, September 2024. And I had to step in immediately as the acting mayor, running a special election. Roughly 60 days or so after that, we had the election 2 weeks before Christmas, which is an interesting time to ask people to come out and vote while they're doing their Christmas shopping. And since then, we've had just month after month of action. We have taken additional steps to ensure, contrary to some of the misinformation out there in the public square, taken steps to ensure the preservation of the Searles estate, ensuring the most prudent step forward with that, which is what we're engaged in now with the RFP. We've also taken steps to improve our infrastructure. This year, we paved roughly 11.6 miles of roadway, 55 streets. That doesn't sound like a lot, but if you look at the context and what we typically will do in an average year, that is significant in terms of progress by way of road improvements. We've taken steps to clean up our schools, literally. We had a lot of facilities issues, and we took quick action to address those, and now our students are able to learn in a safe and healthy environment. And not to mention, more recently, we had the conclusion of this 2-year investigation into a business that was engaging in human trafficking. And we took that, that opening where, all right, we had the conclusion of the investigation, and then sending inspectors into the other suspected locations, and being able to eradicate these businesses inside of 1 week. And so I think this goes to show what can happen when we have departments in the city on the same page, people in the same room, working together towards, a difficult yet common goal. And, I think that over the past year, we've seen that when we can come together as a city, whether it's, from an interdepartmental standpoint, but also looking at our residents most recently with this incredible food drive. It's remarkable to see our residents come together. And I think all we need are leaders in this community, whether it's from the mayor's office, the council, to say, let's go in that direction, let's do it together. And we've seen what happens when that occurs.
That's a great way to put it. All of the candidates that have come on tonight have, maybe because you do public speaking regularly, but you've had a lot of really good points that I think people have been bringing out.
And I have a reminder from Geraldine, and this should not need a reminder, but in the midst of, coming on and speaking about accomplishments, I neglected to mention my wonderful family. Family, first, second, third, that, I'm telling you right now.
One of our volunteers just saved you.
One of my volunteers just saved me, yes, yeah. Even still, not mentioning at the outset will probably require me to, coordinate a time for, a date or dinner or something like that this week. But, my family is my rock. My wife is always there to support me. She's a nurse here in Methuen at the hospital in the ICU. And so she's taking care of people on a daily basis from a medical standpoint. And we now have a 7-year-old daughter. And so she's watching her mother work as a nurse, saving lives. And, one of the things that we're trying to do just as a couple, as parents, is to demonstrate to our child, okay, mommy is saving lives at the hospital every day. And, this is also on the flip side what it looks like to try to make your community better. And so, we're trying to live that idea of raising, our child to, be an active, caring, empathetic citizen, right? And we're able to demonstrate that just with our lives. And that has been a huge blessing. My mom, my aunt, my aunts, my whole family, they are always there, and just wonderful support system for me. And all of my campaign supporters as well, out there pounding the pavement today. Bill Perry, Mayor Perry's brother, has been very supportive. And, we've had, a great team out there, and they're putting their heart and soul into this, and I'm happy for them as well.
Okay. Any other questions?
Well, I just, where do you think, what's kind of like the next thing that you sort of want to get started?
So I want to take what we've done over the last year and do more of it.
Okay.
Next year, we're going to pave even more streets than we did this year. We're going to be intentional about that. We're going to do even more to improve our schools in ways big and small. Ultimately, you know, we need to, in 2026, this is going to be the year of the Searles Estate, where we're going to be actually moving forward with what will be a tangible plan forward for the restoration and preservation of that property. I haven't shared this publicly, but we're even switching up Christmas. So I'm the type, I love the movie The Grinch. Obviously the original, right? But then there's the cartoon, the more recent remake. And the mayor in The Grinch, the mayor of Whoville, declares that Christmas shall be 10,000 times bigger than it's ever been. And so I'm trying to be like the mayor of Whoville, where I want to bring back that idea. When I was growing up in Methuen, not to go off on a tangent, but when I was growing up in Methuen, I remember when our downtown was like a Christmas extravaganza, right? Lights everywhere, it was beautiful, right? I want to bring that back. And so one of the things that we're going to do is starting next year, we're going to move the location of our Christmas tree lighting. It's been great at the Loop, but I'm moving it to Gray Court.
Oh.
And we're going to have it at the top of the hill and have the sleigh rides and all that stuff.
This December or next December?
Next December.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a year to plan it.
We have a year to plan it.
But I just want to bring our downtown back to life. I want to focus on beautification efforts, trying to make the place just look even a little better in terms of our city. And so we have a lot of work to do. We're starting down this path towards making some great progress. And, you know, what's great is the late Mayor Perry often said that he viewed his role, first of all, as getting us out of the ditch we were in just a couple of years ago. And we're always at risk of falling back into that ditch. And I want people to remember that. But nevertheless, he got us out of that ditch. And he talked about how, as mayor, he viewed his role at the time in that context as laying the foundation to build the house of Methuen's future. He talked about that during his final inaugural address just before, a couple months before he passed. And so now I view our role as, okay, the foundation's been laid. Let's keep building the house. Let's keep building for the future and making these improvements and just having more positivity in our community. And that's what I'm all about. We're going to have a great city council. I'm hopeful about the school committee. And, you know, we're going to have a team that's going to get to work on day one in January. And we're going to hit the ground running. And I couldn't be more excited for the city. Yeah.
We really want to thank you for your
Thanks for having
time
me
tonight.
And thanks again for all the support out there.
We want to also thank you for stopping by, as Karen was starting to say. And thank you for putting yourself out there. You know, you literally were thrown into the mayor job with very little notice due to Mayor Perry's unfortunate passing. And you really, as a journalist, not supposed to give opinions, as Michelle, you really stepped up, and I appreciate that as a Methuen resident.
Thank you. We're all in this together. Yep. All right.
Well,
thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you.
And we want to thank you for joining us tonight. I think we are going to say goodnight, and we will be back next year with more
State elections.
State elections.
State elections. I'll steal a line from Ryan DeZoglio at the end of every school committee meeting. He says, "Good night, Methuen." So I'll say, in the spirit of Councilor-elect DeZoglio, "Good night, Methuen."
Good night,
Good night, Methuen.
All right.